And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas Johnson back with us on this 22 Custom League. And today we have a really interesting matchup, an interesting series between the Nashville Stars and the Atlanta Crusaders. Both these teams are at 73 and 68 record-wise this year. Both are, up there near the top of their division here in what has been a tight division race in the National League. I believe they're in the NL West. Here in the NL East, actually, so they're tied for the top spot in the division. The Cardinals are only a half game back, and I mean, there's like 4 teams here in the middle of this divisional race. And this is a look at Atlanta's schedule here going into this final month of the season. We're already a little bit into the final month of the season, but yeah, they have had a really great last couple of weeks here. 3 wins to end the month of August off with. And they had won 6 games there in September, so they are at a 9-game winning streak right now going into this matchup here after a month there in August that really wasn't amazing for them. You see a 5-game losing streak in the middle of this month, so they were kind of up and down in the last month here, but hopefully they are, they're carrying good play into September here and into the beginning of this month, and so, they are looking to continue their strong play here and potentially get back to the postseason after making it to the wildcard game last season. So, yeah, one more look here at this division. As you see, Atlanta and Nashville tied atop of this division. Columbus 73 and 69. And Richmond is still in it, 71 and 69. They're only a game and a half back. Charlotte is, 68 and 81 there, totally out. But, yeah, 4 teams there that could realistically all win their division here. And who knows? Maybe one of these other teams will make the playoffs as a wildcard team. We'll have to see how the wildcard shakes out. But Frankie Montas on the mound, a 2.83 ERA for Montas. He's actually been very good for Atlanta this season. Francisco Lindor is up a 2.19 batting average for him. The batting average is really low for him. So this season, that's a swing and a drive, though. First pitch, and Lindor crushes it out. Home run, Francisco Lindor, his 25th of the season, and Nashville immediately getting on top here in this bowl game against Montas, 1-0 on the first pitch. So, Lindor, I mean, he's still hitting bombs. 25 home runs is a good total. I don't know how it's going to compare to last year's total in home runs for him. As you see this swing here, wasting no time. I don't know what type of pitch that was exactly, but man, that was crushed. 435 feet and actually getting to the bridge out there in the outfield. That was crazy. So, Lindor batting 221. J.D. Davis, 280 average in August there. 252 overall. Schwarber 250. Goldschmidt 286. And Kyle Schwarber 780 OPS. 17 home runs, 61 RBIs. So, those aren't awful numbers for him, but, this is a guy that had almost 40 home runs last season, and, 17 home runs is low for him. That the OPS isn't terrible, but it's not really what his career averages have been in terms of OPS, and so, yeah, the power has dipped for him definitely this season. That was a swing and a miss there. Frankie Montas does kind of bounce back here from that strikeout, or from the home run, and gets a strikeout here. So, yeah, I mean, Nashville, they've had some issues with this lineup, I think, and, I think it's just the combination of them not having their best player in Trout for most of the season, and a lot of guys underperforming. Paul Goldschmidt, 7th in the NL, and average 21 home runs and 66 RBIs. He has been very good, 850 OPS this season for him, basically, so he's having a really good year. Not as good as last year, but he was an MVP candidate last season. But yeah, everybody else, J.D. Davis, his power has kind of gone down, and he's not getting on base as much. Lindor, his average has dropped way below last year what it was. And so there's just some, it's a less deep lineup this season as Clayton Kershaw comes on the mound. 23 starts, 11-2 record, a 2.69 ERA for him, a 1.1 whip, and over 100 strikeouts. He did have an injury a little bit this season after the first couple of months of the year. Akil Baddoo is up, only batting 233, only has a 666 OPS, 17 home runs. He's been not amazing there at the leadoff spot. And there's a look at where that pole went. That home run got to the bridge out there next to this lamppost here. That was really crushed. I haven't seen a lot of balls that are hit to, you know, all the way to the bridge out there in the outfield. So yeah, Nashville, the biggest reason that they are still, you know, 73-68, still in competition for this division is because their pitching has been one of the better pitching staffs in the league this season. Clayton Kershaw has been awesome since he came over here in a trade. They traded Paul Stevenson to get him. He's been fantastic. And Noah Syndergaard is in the midst of a career year almost. I mean, he's putting up awesome numbers. So there's a 1-2. That's a swing and a miss. Purdue swinging at a fastball way up there near his eyes here. That was, I don't know what he was expecting here. He got way late on that pitch as first off, and it's also just unhittable when it's up that high in location. So here's Anthony Rendon, and Anthony Rendon has been very good this season. 297 average. That's first on the team. 826 OPS, 21 home runs, 58 RBIs. Not putting up anything like that in real life at this point, but that is ball 4. Apparently that was a really close pitch right there on the inside corner. I don't know about that one, but hey, he gets the base, and now it'll bring in Mitch Haniger. 271 average, 841 OPS, 25 home runs, and 74 RBI. So those are good numbers for maybe not what he was doing last year, but still very strong overall season. This is his first year, full season in Atlanta. And I think it's been worth it for Atlanta to get him. As that is a swing and a miss, though. And a ball way in the dirt and way outside. So, yeah, not sure what you're doing there if you're Mitch Haniger here. We get to see it in the box. And look at how far outside that pitch ended up going. Yeah, you're not going to hit that one. So Luke brings up Luke Voigt. One of a pretty bad swing from a really solid hitter. As Luke Voigt, 276, 831 OPS, 25 home runs, and 76 RBIs. That's a career high for him. A lot of guys with over 20 homers on this roster, honestly, here. That is a swing. That's going to be a fly ball into right field, and it's caught for the outs. So a couple of strikeouts there in that inning for Kershaw here, as we are done with one, and Polanco comes back up at 264 for him, 755 OPS, 18 home runs, and 70 RBIs, guys. That is a swing and a miss. Two-seamer there outside of the zone. Really good pitch. And, I mean, reaching for that one is Polanco, who they have needed. This Nashville team has definitely needed to have him on this lineup, or else this lineup would be even worse than it already is there. But Michael Harris, 10 home runs, 41 RBIs. The average is not amazing. The OPS is below 700, so he's been below average this season and this is his rookie year. Actually, he might not be technically a rookie because he might have played too many, gotten too many at-bats. So last season, to be qualified as a rookie, but that is a swing and a miss. He goes around on that high fastball there. But, it's his first full season in the majors, at least, and he's had some struggles this year. Max Kepler is up now. 21 home runs for him, 722 OPS. I mean, he's only batting 229. Like, you kind of know what Max Kepler is capable of. This is about what he's done for the majority of his career, is put up very similar numbers to this season, what he's doing. And he is, I think, you could probably have him as a starter on another team that's not as good as this one is supposed to be, but on this team, he probably should be more of a backup guy, as Eli's coming up. And Eli only 234 average there, 659 OPS. 2-2 pitch to him, though. He takes a slider, drives it to deep left field, and Schwarber is at the wall. That ball is gone. Eli Jimenez with a home run. And that's his 15th this season. And we are tied up here at 1 apiece. So, Jimenez's power has kind of dropped off this season a little bit. His average is a little low. It's just not a great offensive year for him, but he hit that one really well. 375 feet on the distance there to left field. And we are tied up.
The catcher.
As it's Tyler Stevenson to the plate now. Curveball there. goes outside for a ball. And Stevenson, 252 batting average for him this season as this team's catcher. He's been all right for them, as that's a swing and a drive into the gap. And that one's down, and it's going to roll a long way, all the way to the wall here. Stevenson is going to get to second. He's going to third, as the throw to the bag is not going to be in time. Tyler Stevenson with a triple there, only his second this year. But, I mean, he just hit it into the perfect spot right there. That is that's a pretty deep outfield here in City Square Stadium, and just gets it to the deepest part of the park, and is getting a third base on it. So a big triple there, and now it's Buddy Kennedy. And his rookie year hasn't been great, 224 average, only a 658 OPS. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I expected him to do this season, but he has struggled a bit more than I expected him to, as that's a ground ball, little tapper right in front of the mound, and Kershaw is going to take care of it himself. That is unproductive out, as, Stevenson's still on third base now, and here's Adolis Garcia. Average super low for him, below 700 OPS, swinging wildly at a slider there. He does have 22 home runs, but that's about all he can really do effectively. 2-2 pitch now to Garcia. That's a swing and a miss. Change up outside part of the plate, and Kershaw gets his third strikeout to strand Stevenson there at third base. Eloy does get Atlanta on the board with a solo homer here, though. And it is a 1-1 game through 2 innings here. So Manny Pena now is up, and yeah, his offense is just really poor, and Nashville will certainly be in the market for another catcher, a starting catcher going into next season, as that is a ball that runs inside and hits Manny Pena there. And so he is going to take his base, and it's going to bring up Lindor again. So 746 OPS. It's not like Lindor is playing awful this season. It's just, he had almost like 830 OPS, I think, last year. At least over 800 OPS last season, and, 250 average or something. So he's just not getting on base as much, but he gets a hit here, an infield single. And it'll bring up Kyle Schwarber once again. Struck out his first time up, and there's 2 down in this inning now. So big spot here for Kyle. That's a ground ball, and that one does get through, and they're not going to send Manny Pena there home, as that was hit a little bit too hard by Schwarber. Yeah, I mean, it only was like a 2-hopper there in the outfield, so Manny Pena not fast enough to try and run on that. 117 exit velo. Schwarber crushed that pitch, but kind of unfortunate there that it does not bring home a run. So now it's up to Paul Goldschmidt, swinging and missing at that 2-seamer there. And I mean, been their best hitter all year. This is the spot right here. Bases loaded. 1-2 count. It's a fly ball into the outfield, but Eloy Jimenez is this team's left fielder. He is right there to easily make the catch to end the third inning. So Nashville loads up the bases there in the third, but they do not push anyone across. So you go bottom 3. And here's Akil Baddoo, and he's going to fly that one into foul territory, racing after it, and almost catching it. Wow. Being left, or right, I mean, I think that's, that should be Max Kepler out there in right field for this team. That one will miss for a ball. The count running full here. I mean, Clayton Kershaw has been all right here these first couple of innings. His pitch count, though, already at 43 pitches. 3-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. That 4-seamer is a strike, and a good location there, high in the zone. Second strikeout, I believe, for Akil Baddoo in this game. 4th one for Kershaw today. That's a fly ball. That one lands past Kepler, and it's only going to be a base hit for Anthony Rendon, but he is on here with now 1 out for Mitch Haniger, who does take ball 4, and he will go on to first with a walk. So a couple of base runners here, and an inning that has taken up a lot of pitches here for Kershaw already. And here's Luke Voigt. And yeah, I like Luke Voigt. I like this lineup overall. I think there is definitely a couple of holes that this team can address, particularly in the outfield. I think Adolis Garcia is just not the guy that they want anymore moving forward. As Javier Baez, good year this year, 272 average for him. That is ball 4. So Nashville had the bases loaded in the top half of this inning, and now Atlanta is going to load the bases up here in the bottom half as it's Javi, and he's batting almost, he has almost 800 OPS, 272 average, nearly 20 home runs. He's having a good season. That's a line drive. It's caught at shortstop. Polanco spears it, and yeah, that is Polanco there, and that Polanco will get the second out as that was hit really well, but it doesn't find the outfield grass, and now it's Eloy Jimenez up again. So obviously he had that home run last time he was at the plate. He fouls this one back as here's a 2-2 from Kershaw. Now that's a swing and a miss. High and inside fastball, and Kershaw gets him swinging. Maybe not a traditional strikeout pitch there, but Eloy late on it, and Kershaw works his way out of a jam there in the third. So we go top four, and Michael Harris is back up, and yeah, only 33 runs, 10 stolen bases, so he's got a lot to work on, and that's been part of the issue, is just the outfield for this team. And Michael Harris has kind of been the guy that I've looked to step up on this roster since the Mike Trout injury, and he just really hasn't been able to do that this year as Max Kepler comes up here again. And he's got a man on, second hit batter of this game by Frankie Montas here so far in the first few innings. As, I mean, his pitch on is in a good spot, only at 51 right now. 2-2 pitch to Kepler. It's a two-seamer there in the strike zone for strike three. First strikeout looking we've seen in this game for either pitcher. Fifth one today for Frankie Montas. And that's a big out. So now 2 down in the frame for Royce Lewis, who we saw called up a couple of episodes ago. And he is so far 3 for 16 on this season. And he had one of his first 3 hits in his Major League debut. 2-2. That's a swing and a miss now. Two-seamer outside. And Royce Lewis reaching for it. Another strikeout. And Montas has got 6 of them now. And I've liked what I've seen from him so far. Aside from a couple of more wild pitches that hit some batters, he has been pitching really well. Carlos Garcia is up. And he is now going to swing and miss. That was an inside fastball. And Garcia swinging at that one as his second strikeout of the game, and number 6 as well for Clayton Kershaw. So Francisco Lindor at the plate, and that's a swing, and that's going to be a drive, and that one lands in no man's land here in the outfield, and up to second, thinking about third maybe a little bit, but going to stay there at second base. Lindor has got a double, and only 15 doubles this year. That is definitely a low total for him there. But he's 3 for 3 in this game right now, as that one right back up the middle, stopped by Montas, and J.D. Davis is retired. And now needs a base hit, or Nashville needs a base hit here now to score the runner. And it's up to Schwarber. Fouls that four-seamer away. Haven't seen a run for Nashville since the first pitch of the game. So, big at-bat here is the 2-2. It's on the corner, and it's strike 3 called. Another big strikeout for Montas, and he's got 7 as we are halfway home, and this is a good pitcher's duel game so far. Bottom of the 5th, and it's still 1-1. Here is Akil Baddoo, over 2. Now struck out at least once in this game. That's a fly ball, and that one lands right in front of Schwarber there in left. So Akil Baddoo does have a hit here to start the bottom of the 5th inning off. Now it's Anthony Rendon, and he's in a swing and hit that curveball there. Stopped by Davis at third base. A good throw across the diamond. Really good play actually there by J.D. Davis. And it'll get the out. Munner moves up into scoring position. And actually that is going to be the end of the game here for Clayton Kershaw. I didn't see what his pitch count was at, but it was probably getting up there. He had a couple of longer innings. And so he will leave. Only 4.1 innings, I think, in this game, so I don't think he has a chance to get a quality start in this one. Ranger Suarez comes on out. 105 innings for him. 3.15 ERA, 79 strikeouts at 37 walks. The average against righties is at 280, which is not ideal. But, Ranger Suarez has been pretty good this season as this team's long reliever. 2-2 pitch, though. That was a ground ball, and that one will get through. And around second here, trying to score now, and scoring, standing up, is Akil Baddoo. Base hit, or he's going to get to second. I think that might count as a single. And then goes to second base on the throw. But Mitch Haniger with a big-time hit down the line and an RBI. So now Atlanta takes a 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. And now it's Luke Voigt up here again. And 0-for-1 walked back into the 3rd inning in his last plate appearance. And he is going to swing and miss there. That was a great change up there by Suarez. But Luke Voigt this year with runners in scoring position is dangerous. While 385 average, that is crazy. There's a line drive, and that one is gonna fall in. Strawber has it, but now Mitch Haniger is gonna score, standing up as that throw is offline, and that average with runners in scoring position goes up even more for Luke Voigt, who delivers another hit down the line. And I mean, curveball outside of the zone, basically right on the corner. Good swing from Luke Voigt. 3-1 Nashville. Or Atlanta, excuse me. As now it's Baez. And he takes a sinker. That was hit well. And drifting back is Kepler. And he makes the catch over it. You know, a catch on the run. And closing in on the wall. Good snag there by Max Kepler in the outfield to get the second out. Now it's Eloy Jimenez. So full count here to Eloy, and it's a ground ball, and it's stopped by Polanco. He's going to go to first base there. Good stop there by Goldschmidt, and that'll end the inning. But not before Atlanta gets a couple of runs there on, I think, 3 hits. 2 runs in that frame, and they now have a 3-1 lead. And Frankie Montas, man, he's just cruising right now. That is a hit, though. And around second and from first to third goes the run. I don't know who that is there on base, actually, but Max Kepler with a huge hit there, and now it's Royce Lewis. So men in the corners here, 2 down, a big spot for the recent call-up. 3 for 17. That average just continues to drop for him a little bit, but this is a big opportunity. 1-2. It's a ground ball stopped by Voigt at first base. And that is going to end the inning. So another 0. Frankie Montas 6 1-run innings in this one. And he's worked around some base runners, but yeah, Nashville has just not been able to take advantage of any of these opportunities that they've been given to score here today. Tyler Stevenson, yeah, you know, the OPS below 700 for him is a swing and a miss on the sinker. I think he had some injuries this year that he missed some time for. But he's been, you know, below average, or just about average as a catcher this year, offensively, at least for Atlanta. Swinging way out in front of that pitch right there as Adolis Garcia does take a circle change up for strike 3. And at least his second strikeout of this game for Garcia. As we ended the 6th inning. Good inning there by Ranger Suarez. As we go to the top of the 7th, and Lindor 3 for 3 on the day here. Montas nearing 100 pitches on the night. As that's a line drive, and that one will fall, and it's going to get actually past Eloy here. As up to second base, and getting there is Francisco Lindor. Another double, his second double of this game, and his 4th hit tonight. Responsible for, you know, the only run that came in for Nashville back in the first pitch of the game. And he has been, you know, almost all their offense here in this game. He's been really good. As that is actually going to knock Frankie Montas out of the game. A really good start in this one. 6.1 innings. I believe there's at least one out in this inning. 6.1 and really good 1-run innings. As here comes Eric Garley. 45.2 innings. 4.73 area, a lot of walks for him, it seems there, 24 of them. And his averages against aren't like awful, especially against righties. His averages against isn't really, you know, very low there, below 200. But I think lefties are hitting him a little bit better, and he is walking a lot more guys. And, you know, Eric Garley, the Atlanta got him in a trade deal last season at the deadline. He was fantastic for them, at the end of the last season. This is his first full year here in Atlanta. And it has not gone, it hasn't gone the way Atlanta has wanted it to, really. As here's a 2-1 as that curveball is going to miss just barely inside. So Goldschmidt sitting on deck. Schwarber is, facing a 3-1 count now. And that one misses. So not a really competitive pitch there on 3-1. And another walk. Only plus is it sets up a force now on any base, but that is the time run that is going to first right now for Paul Goldschmidt. Best hitter on this lineup here has got an excellent opportunity. 2-1 pitch is a ground ball. Stopped at third base by Anthony Rendon. He goes the short way there to get the out. And another 0 here. Yeah, this is where Nashville running out of outs here. They only have 6 more left in this game at this point, as they go to the bottom of the 7th. So Kilbadu up again, and Rangers is still pitching here tonight, as that is a fastball or a sinker fouled away. Now the count, a ball and 2 strikes, and that is a swing and a miss. Another strikeout. Yeah, I think that's Suarez's 3rd or 4th of this outing, in the 3rd strikeout against Badu in this game, as that is a swing and a miss. Rendon now missing, and now Suarez, the 1-2 pitch. That is a sinker, perfectly placed down in the bottom of the zone on the corner. That's another strikeout. Rangers Suarez, man, he has been very good in this outing, I think, as Rendon early on that all-speed stuff right there. So another 2-strike count here. Haniger, the 2-2 release, he puts wood on this one, and that is going to be an out. And the shift there called as Lindor stops it behind second base. Here comes Coney Kell out of the bullpen for Atlanta. 4.02 ERA, 75 strikeouts, 229 walks. Overall, a pretty decent season for him in Atlanta here out of the bullpen this year. Point Polanco is gonna swing and miss. Oh my goodness. What is he swinging out there? A pitch way inside on him, on his hands, basically. And he ends up swinging through it. As you see there on the StatCast where that pitch was. Good locations, honestly, by Keller there. But yeah, that pitch was way, way inside. Now Michael Harris is going to swing and miss. There, Keller gets another strikeout. And man, he is dominant here so far in this 8th inning, and that was a awesome pitch right here. Wow. 11-inch break on this curveball. Textbook stuff. Starts middle of the zone, and look at how that ball just tails down to the bottom part of the zone. I mean, Harris was way early on it too, but that was a fantastic curveball right there on the corner, as Max Kepler is up now. Singled back in the 6th inning. 1 for 3 overall in the game. And that 2-2 just misses. A bold take by Max Kepler there. Full count. That one misses as well. So a curveball below the zone there and outside. And Keller will give a base runner here. So, I mean, there's an opportunity for Royce Lewis. 0 for 3 in this game. 3 for 18 on the season. And the rookie's got a big opportunity here. That's a line drive, and that one falls in. Line drive base hit into center field. So good stuff there by Lewis. 4th career hit in the majors. And, I mean, he hit that ball really well right back up the middle. Line drive, textbook base hit. And they're actually going to take Keller out of the game and put in Jimmy Nelson. I don't know if I agree with this decision. I mean, over 5 ERA in 65 innings. 46 walks, a 337 average against lefties. So Jimmy Nelson has not been very good this year, and he's facing his former team now, actually, as that is almost a hit by pitch. Manny Pena had to duck out of the way of that one. But yeah, Jimmy Nelson pitched for Nashville last year, and now he's pitching for Atlanta here, facing off against his team, as that's 2-2 fly ball into the gap here in right center, and is caught. Ran down by Garcia in center field for the out. So, yeah, I think you should have just let Coney Kell finish that inning off, but what do I know? I don't make those decisions. The CPU does when I'm not controlling these teams, as they're going to bring out Edwin Diaz. And, 6 saves is kind of a lot, but his ERA, 2.81, is really good. His averages against are not bad at all when he has 63 strikeouts. So, I don't really know how he's blown 6 saves already this year. It seems like a lot. But he's been a good closer this year. He was the reliever of the year last year. He is, you know, a no-joke guy. You expect him to shut things down when he comes out there to pitch. As we get to see what happened in the first inning, and that was the first pitch of this game, and Lindor absolutely crushed it, and Nashville has done absolutely nothing offensively, has not gotten another run home since that swing by Lindor, who is 4 for 4, and he's now going to get on base again. Man, 4 for 4 with a walk today for Francisco Lindor, raising his average and on base by a good amount there with this game. So now here's Carlos Schwarber, and now there's 2 men on here with nobody out, as that's a fly ball, line drive, caught by Mitch Haniger, tagging from second base and getting up to third is Lindor. And that's a big first out, as that second run doesn't necessarily matter. He's now 90 feet away, though. Paul Goldschmidt is the go-ahead run coming to the plate, and he has not done anything in this game so far. 0 for 4 today. Fouls that triple-digit fastball back to the screen, and the count will move to 1-2 here to a big spot in this game. Of course, here only 2 more outs to work with. If you're Nashville, kind of got Edwin Diaz on the ropes right now. 1-2 pitch, and it's going to be a swing and a miss on a slider in the dirt. And I don't know why Paul Goldschmidt was so fooled with this pitch. It was just, I was not competitive at all. Wow, why did he swing at that? That's a big strikeout there. There is now 2 down in the inning, and now Polanco's got to get a hit here, as he's going to get hit by a pitch instead, actually, as the bases are now going to be loaded up again. Second time we got a bases loaded opportunity. Now Michael Harris is at the plate here. He's 0 for 3 in this game, and the winning run, go-ahead run is on base now. Michael Harris fouls that pitch away, and the count 0-2. Now that is a swing and a miss for strike 3, and Edwin Diaz does shut the door in the 9th inning. Oh man, a sigh of relief if you're Atlanta. Definitely a rocky 9th there, a rocky save for Diaz, but he does close it down, and the Crusaders win this one 3-1. So they get their 74th win of the year now. 74 and 69 on the year. 73 and 70 is Nashville. Now they take the lead, the sole lead, and a game ahead in this division now. As you see the box score, and what a day for Francisco Lindor. 4 for 4 with a walk and an RBI, the only one of the game for Nashville, who had some base runners. They had 3 walks, a couple hit by pitches, and 8 total hits in this one, but just could not capitalize on really any of their scoring chances in this game. I will be curious to know how many runners they left on base tonight, as they left 2. They had 2 bases loaded opportunities, and they didn't score in either one of them there, including one in the 9th inning, obviously. But yeah, Lindor, 2 doubles, 16 on the year now for him, up to 54 RBIs with this home run. Kershaw, 4.1 innings. He gets handed a loss. He pitched, okay, but he did have 4 walks in this game, which is definitely not ideal. 6 strikeouts. Suarez, 2.2 innings to give up one run, but I thought I was impressed with his performance. 4 strikeouts. And then Ramirez, an inning, 3.71 ERA for him this season. And for Atlanta, you got Baddoo with a 1 for 4 game. The top part of this lineup, everybody got a hit in the top 4 of this batting order. And an RBI by Haniger, 75 now for him. Voit had his 77th ribby, and Jimenez home run and 42 RBIs, but only batting .234 this year. And the bottom of the order on this team right now is not very great, and there is, I think, a couple of holes definitely in this team's lineup right now. But is it going to be enough, to win this division, make the postseason, get back there? Frankie Montas, really good start in this one. One of the better ones probably for him in this season. 6.1 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Really good stuff there. Yardley, 4.66 ERA. Kella, a hit and a walk, lowered his ERA below 4. Nelson got an out, and then Diaz got his 28th save, 2.76 ERA. And Now Atlanta, one of the other things that they've kind of struggled with this season is their bullpen. Their bullpen has not been really that great besides Edwin Diaz. It was a strength of their team last season going into the playoffs, and then their bullpen kind of fell apart in the postseason as we go into this critical situation here in Nashville, looking to get the second game of this series. They're ahead 6-5 as Trevor May is pitching. That's a ground ball to Lindor, and he will make the play. Easily makes that play, and that is going to end this ball game here. Atlanta, a really quick critical situation there. First pitch that I threw, I think, in that critical spot. The Nashville Stars end up closing out a win here over Atlanta, 6-5 on the road. That's a big win there, and so they have split their first 2 games of this series now, and I believe it is a 3-game set between these two. So we'll have to see what happens here in the finale of the series to see who will take that division lead into the rest of this season here. And another home run for Lindor here in this game. So that's another one from 2 straight days with a bomb. Goldschmidt 0 for 3 again. So yeah, he got on base with a walk, maybe. I think he had a walk there. Marco Gonzalez, a decent start. A lot of hits allowed in this one, 10 hits. And Atlanta only able to get 4 runs off of him, but no walks. A couple of strikeouts. Soto there got an out, but did give up a hit and a walk. Lopez gets a clean inning. Duffy, 0.2 innings, and gets it clean. I don't know why he only got 2 outs there, but whatever. And then Trevor May did give up a run in the 9th, but closes the door for his 36th save of the year. So, yeah, Atlanta, I think that, the DH, Baddoo, has been very good this season. Their offense, or their outfield, is, a little bit weak, I think. And their bullpen has definitely taken a step backwards this year from where it was last season. So those are some of the bigger problems that they have right now if they want to make the postseason this year. Mitch Haniger, a lot of backups in that game for Atlanta. It looked like Mitch Haniger, 76 RBIs, now Baddoo with 57. Husky Uwena, 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. Not an amazing start there. Gets the loss. And then Patrick MacArthur is that other reliever there. He pitched 4 innings and only gave up 1 run. That was a good start for him. But MacArthur is a guy that we just called up actually for September call-ups. He's not a rookie, I don't think, or at least he's not a really top-tier prospect. But Lindor and Davis double right out of the gate. Lindor continues to be hot in this series. That's a single by Goldschmidt, the first hit of this series between these two teams. 2-0 in Nashville here immediately in this game. Another single. Wow, 5 hits in that first inning. Okay, that was not a great start to this game for Casey Mize. I don't know why he doesn't have a picture of him there, but he has a 4.3 ERA this year. Yeah, he's pitching okay. And Turner Senzatella, the ERA just over 4. As got 2 men on, but Kennedy cannot come through. Just flies it out. And there's a walk by Goldschmidt getting on base again. Another walk. Polanco, okay, a fielder's choice as nothing happens there. Yeah, Antonio Senzatella, I don't hate those numbers. There's nothing really wrong with his stats this season. And he's pitching really well so far through 3 innings. Only the 3rd hit of the game there, as that's another 0. So we go top of the 6th. There's a single by Polanco. And there's another base hit. Michael Harris gets a base hit here. And now we're going to go to the bullpen and bring out Brad Hand, the sac fly there. So 3-0 Nashville. And Brad Hand has a 1.5 whip. Right now, his numbers aren't that incredible. Not really anything like he was last season. And I think this actually was like their biggest free agent acquisition for this team's bullpen this in the offseason. Hasn't really worked out as Lindor getting on base again. Now Goldschmidt walking. And that's a strikeout. Big strikeout there with a couple of base runners on. But and there's the offense. I was just about to ask where it was for Atlanta. Another home run for Eloy Jimenez in this series. His 16th of the year now. And it's a 3-1 game. And so I wanted to go in to that game and finish it off. But I accidentally exited the quick manage and it just simulated the rest of the game. I didn't know it was going to do that. So unfortunately, it didn't get to hop in to the ending of this one. But Nashville does win it here 4-3. And they now have taken the lead in this division now with a couple of wins in a row here off of Atlanta. So they're now 75 and 69 and in first place in the NL East now. As Lindor had a hit there. I mean, everybody had a hit actually in this game except for Lewis, who, 185 average. His start to his career hasn't been incredible this year. Kyle Schwarber had a home run in this one for Nashville. And then Atlanta, their offense really didn't do a lot. I mean, Jimenez had a good game there with a couple of home runs, actually. So he had another one when we simulated, and we weren't in the quick manage at all. So actually some late runs in this game. Nashville 3-1 advantage when we wanted to hop into the game, but then Atlanta scored, and then Nashville scored again, and then Atlanta got another run off of Trevor May, who gets his 37th save. And yeah, you see Eric Garley. I mean, those guys, a lot of over 4 ERAs in this bullpen for this team, as Matt Duffy, he's been awesome. Another great hold for him, and that ERA is at an excellent spot. So here we go, Boston and New York. We've been talking about these teams all year long, and they are still neck and neck in this division race right now. I think they still both have 82 wins on the year. And we have seen so many incredible games and crazy moments from these two teams this season. And now we go into the bottom of the 10th inning here between these two. Another extra inning game between these two teams. We just saw, a couple of episodes ago, a walk-off win that happened. A walk-off win by Aaron Judge. He had a home run. And I think we've seen at least 2, maybe even 3 walk-offs in this season between these two teams. As that's a line drive, it is caught at first base by Abreu. As we go to, that's like 3 episodes ago for us. Episode 102, we saw a walk-off between these two teams. As we go to the 11th inning, and here's Tanner Scott, 17.1 innings, 4.15 ERA, and the averages against are pretty favorable for both sides of the plate here. He's been, okay. Not a huge sample for him. As here's Austin Riley, 33 home runs. He might not get to 40 like he did last season. We'll have to see about that, though, but he's still going to have a lot, and he's still having a great season. That is a great catch by Tucker there, running that ball down in the outfield and getting the first down here in the 4th. So here's Jose Abreu, 259 average, 760 OPS, 21 home runs. I mean, you'll take those numbers all day. For a guy who's like 36 years old at this point now, as that's a ground ball back up the middle, only paying him, they're paying him less than $5 million. So he has been good as he is getting it on here. So, all right, we got a base runner here now in extra innings, and we don't start off with a base runner in the extra innings because this is the older game. So now they're going to bring out a pinch runner, and it's Ha-Seong Kim off the bench. So what can Tanner Scott do here? He's got William Contreras up, and Contreras 290 average, 853 OPS, 21 home runs, 60 RBIs. He has been an awesome addition to this lineup for New York, as that's a fly ball into the outfield, and Van Meter on it, but it goes over his head. Wow, it took a really high, crazy bounce. Van Meter didn't read it right, and Contreras gets all the way to third base as the run scores. So, 5th triple for Contreras, but definitely not a conventional triple here, and yeah, I mean, it just went right over his head. I think that's kind of annoying that it doesn't really tell you where the ball is going to go after it hits the dirt, like the ground like that. I think that was kind of a stupid triple, but anyway, it is a triple, and Jake Rogers is at the plate here, and he's got an opportunity to add on to them to make it more than just one. As he's only 4 for 12 this season, hasn't got a lot of playing time this year for New York. I think it was a September call-up for them. But now he's got a full count on him here. And that's a slider in the zone for a strike. Really good location by Tanner Scott. Really monster strikeout here at this point in the game. And so now it remains 5-4. Ramon Laureano is going to swing and miss at a slider. Now he's 1 for 3. His offense hasn't been great this season. 1-2 pitch to him here. And that's a slider at the bottom of the zone for another strikeout. So, wow, he gets 2 strikeouts looking there after giving up the wacky triple to William Contreras. And now Boston is going to have to get something here in the bottom of the ninth, and they can't use their closer right now. So New York is going to bring out Milo Casey, who has 17 strikeouts and 16 walks so far. As Ronald Guzman is going to take over at first base. I don't know. Milo Casey has not had a good start to his major league career right now. As here's Darren Ruff, and there's one out in the inning, and Darren Ruff is going to get a base hit here through the left side, and McNeil going to bring it back in. But there is a hit now and a base runner for Boston. And I mean, two-seam fastball there, bottom of the zone, hittable pitch there, and Darren Ruff got good, got a good swing on it there. Pablo Martinez comes off the bench for Boston as a pinch runner, 87 speed, so they're opted for a little bit more speed there. Darren Ruff, not a fast guy on the base pass there. Here's Enrique Hernandez. Home run in this game already, 237 average for him, on only a 683 OPS. He's not been great this season. That's a line drive into left, and McNeil has a little bit of trouble with that ball there. Can't pick it up cleanly, but no advance from Paulo Martinez. So back-to-back hits here now has set up a huge spot, and Hernandez is the winning run now on base, as that slurve does catch the zone. Ryan Creedler is at the plate here, and he has not gotten a lot of playing time. He might have been a September call-up as well, but I don't think he has a lot of potential there. Not a guy that I wanted to focus in on or really notice. Only 1 for 9 this season. That's a ground ball, little tapper in front of the plate here, and Rogers is going to throw to first, but he can't get the outs. So Ryan Creedler will beat it out, and an infield single here has loaded him up. So the winning run is now in scoring position, as you see the play there at first. Trevor Story is at the plate here. Ground ball, and Ramirez stops it, and he's going to go to second base here. They cannot turn a double play, though, as Story beats it out, and we are tied up. So that was a tough decision. I mean, it's bang-bang type of decision that Ramirez had to make there to try to go, whether he wanted to go home with it or if he wanted to try and get a double play there. I don't know if he would have been able to get Pablo Martinez at home plate in that spot, and so Boston will score a run, and we are going to keep going in this game now as we go to the 12th inning. And Brooks really coming out, and 5.51 ERA, even though he has low averages against. I don't really know why his ERA is that high, honestly. For looking at his advanced numbers, you really don't think that he would have that bad of an ERA, but he's been struggling a little bit out of this bullpen, and Jeff McNeil is starting in this one for New York here, as he's going to take a cutter, that one in the zone for strike 3. Great pitch there by Rarely, and now it's Jose Ramirez, who had a home run in this game, his 30th of the season here, and he's been so good this year for New York, as 2 outs in the inning. That's a fly ball. Now nobody's going to get to that one. That one's going to land in the outfield, and Ramirez has got extra bases easy, as he is in the second with a double. So a good swing there by Ramirez. 39 doubles this year. That is crazy. He's getting extra base hits like nobody's business, as Aaron Judge now is going to take a ball, and he will walk. I mean, Austin Riley is 0 for 5. This is a dangerous hitter to be facing here. He's got an over 800 OPS this year with 81 RBIs. So we're trying to put New York back out on front here as a 2-2. It's a little tapper. Riley's got it, and the throw to first is in time. Close play there at first base, but they do get Austin Riley, and we will go to the bottom of the 12th. Only 1 run wins it here for Boston, as Sean Doolittle comes on out, and 37 innings for him, 4.14 ERA, 222 against righties, 244 against lefties. I mean, his stats don't look that bad at all. He's been pretty good for New York. And 1-2 now to Tucker. That's a swing and a miss. Curveball down below the knees. That pitch was filthy, and it gets Tucker there pretty easily for another strikeout. One more look at that swing. Yeah, that was filthy. I mean, the timing wasn't awful for that pitch, but it was just such a good location there. Now Alejandro Kirk is up, and he's going to swing and miss. high four-seamer that Kirk cannot catch up with. And Sean Doolittle gets a couple of strikeouts, are really good. Top bottom of the 12th inning. This is the longest that we've seen a game go between these two teams this season. We're at the 13th inning now. And here's Ronald Guzman in the game. First at bat of the day here. 352 average. He's been hitting actually well this season and his limited action this year. That's a swing and a miss there. 2-2 count now. And that's a swing and a drive down the right field line. It is fair, and it's gone! Ronald Guzman off the bench. He comes up huge with his first homer this year, and Boston takes a 13th inning lead. It is 6-5. Wow, so, I mean, his average was great. He has been hitting well for New York in his, you know, I don't know how many at-bats he's had this year so far, but that was his biggest swing of this season for him for sure. As this one just down the line, and yeah, you see that one ended up going, just curling inside of the fair pole there. And now New York has the lead. So, bottom of the order here for New York coming through with a big swing, and that is an out, as we will end the top of the 13th inning. But an unlikely hero for New York here potentially in this game, as a home run by Ronald Guzman sets up the bottom of the 13th. The Barons, again, in need of a run. Here's Orlando Arcia, only batting .216, and only 5 home runs, 24 ribbies. He has not been very good. Off of the bench as a kind of, you know, he's not really starting for this team this year. That was a beautiful curveball there by Doolittle for a strike in the bottom of the zone. And I mean, he has been locating really well in this start so far. Nothing he can do with that pitch. Now they're down at two outs in the game. And here's Hernandez, reached his last time up, as that is a strike on the four-seamer. So the count here 0-2 to him, down to the last strike now is Boston, as that curveball misses. I mean, a good textbook, you know, 2-strike pitch to Hernandez there. Still a 1-2 count. Here is the pitch, and that's another low pitch there. That was a fastball that time. And Hernandez, again, not biting on these low pitches that Doolittle is trying to bait him with here. Now the count is even. 2-2 count here to Hernandez. That's a swing and a drive deep to right field. Judge on in the move, and that ball is gone! Enrique Hernandez has just tied the game. Whoa, his 13th homer this year, but that's his second of the day, and it is 6-6. For the second time in extra innings, Boston scores a run and ties the game up again. Wow, Kike Hernandez, 394 on the distance there, and that was a big swing. And now we're tied up again. Well, 6-6. Ryan Kreidler is up. That's a swing. That's a drive down the line, and it's going to be off the wall here, fair. And Ryan Kreidler has got a double here for him. And that is, you know, third hit of his season. First double of the year. And now he is the winning run, standing now at second base. And, yeah, you got to bring in a new pitcher here. Takes Sean Doolittle out. Failed to close the door. I mean, Boston down to the last strike in this one. Justin Steele comes on out of 4.21 ERA for him this season. 120 strikeouts. A lot of walks, though. 64 walks is pretty significant there. Now an 0-1. That's a fly ball and tipped pretty well. Valeriano moving back, but he does make the catch. And that is the end of the 13th inning. And Enrique Hernandez, I mean, we're still going in this game, guys. And we're going down to the 14th inning here. And we got another classic finish between these two teams. Drew Stickenrider coming out, 25 holds. He's been awesome this year. Elite numbers there, 2.08 ERA, 27 strikeouts to 9 walks, 250 average, and 131 against lefties. Really good stuff there. And here's Jose Ramirez. Homer and a double. The OPS sitting right at 900, basically. That's a fly ball. That one is deep into center. Tucker is at the wall, and he makes the catch. Just missed it. Man. Yeah. Jose Ramirez nearly had a home run right there. And instead, we will go to the bottom of the 14th. So Boston, man, just one run is all they need here. As here's Kyle Tucker, 0 for 5. Don't know if he has a lot of 0 for 6 games in this season here. And he's not going to have one here, as that's a line drive into the gap. It's going to go all the way to the deepest part of the outfield here. But Tucker is going to hold up at second base with a double. So a big hit there, and immediately here in this 9th inning, a man puts himself into scoring position. So man on second base, 1 down in the inning. Here is Luis Urias, 0 for 6 today in this week. First pitch to him from Steele is a liner, the drive into left, and it is fair, and it's gone! Luis Urias wins it for Boston. What a win! The Barons win it 8-6 in the 14th inning. Unbelievable. Another walk-off finish between these two teams. I mean, that's at least the third one that we've seen this year, maybe even the fourth. I mean, I'm not sure, but these two teams, they cannot play a game that is not competitive and not going to come down to just 1 or 2 swings. What a win for Boston. They tied the game in the 11th and the 10th inning, and then again in the 13th, and they win it in the 14th. Wow, a classic finish right here between these two once again. And this is going to be such an interesting finish here in this division to see who wins this division. It's going to be a big deal, because the team that doesn't win this division is very likely going to get the wildcard spot. And obviously you don't want the wildcard spot if you have a chance to win your division here and not have to play in that one game that's going to decide your season. But there's a look at a couple of the big swings that we saw there in the last few innings. A home run by Guzman, and then the home run by Hernandez, and a home run there to finish it off by Urias. So, Kike Hernandez there, 3 for 6 today, a couple of home runs, including the game-tying homer in the 13th inning. I mean, yeah, that was a crazy game right there between these teams. 1 run each. I mean, Boston, they had to tie the game, when they were down to their last few outs 3 separate times in the 9th, in the 11th, and the 13th inning. So that was just wild there to see that. And I mean, Hernandez up to 13 home runs now. Urias 24 now on the year. Van Meter had his 14th. And Urias up to 71 RBI. Story also has 71. And Dustin Harris, his average has dropped a lot recently in his most recent actions, all the way down to 226 so far right now for him. But he does get 2 RBIs in this game. And Vinicius Venezuela, good start for him. 5.2 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. The ERA is still really good for him right now, 2.77. Bender, 2.1 innings, scoreless there. Figueroa, 2 scoreless innings. And then the bullpen, after that point, Scott didn't pitch very well. Really gave up the lead as well, but Sternberger got the win for Boston in this one. And New York, I mean, love this lineup and where it is right now. Ramirez, 7 for 2. He had a home run, a double, a couple of RBIs. And the bottom of the order, though, Guzman with a monster home run off the bench. Contreras had a couple of hits and an RBI. Rogers also, spot starting at catcher this game. He had a couple of hits and an RBI. And, New York here, as we close out this video, this will be the end of the video here, but yeah, Ramirez 30 home runs now, 39 RBIs, 40-30 season for him is really awesome. And Contreras 61 RBIs. Now Ramirez up to 91 ribbies on the year. So here's a look at the pitching for New York in this game. You had Gill, who the ERA for him, yeah, he has not been very solid there in the ERA, now just below 5. And then the bullpen, I mean, they used everybody in the bullpen in this game for New York. My goodness, Smeltzer, 2 innings. Adams, 0.2 innings. Bender, 0.1. I mean, okay, why don't you let's just let Adams pitch the full inning, whatever. But Kittredge blew the save. 6th blown save of the year for him. Casey in innings. Doolittle, 1.2 innings, gave up their lead. So, yeah, the bullpen in the late innings for New York really struggled. They did not do their job very well there. And then Justin Steele gets the loss. So that'll do it for me in this episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching this one here. Another great game between Boston and New York. These two teams, man, their rivalry is real in between these two fan bases right now. As we're getting close to the end of the season, man. We only are gonna have a handful of more episodes before we get to the playoffs and end of the year stats and all that for year 2. So excited to see how the rest of the season and the playoff races shape out. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this from me. And I hope you guys all had an excellent weekend. I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day, everybody. And God bless.